Greetings, ACSI educators, administrators, and fellow shepherds. My name is Serena Jackson. I am the Alberta Specialty Field Director for Biblical Worldview Application in and around the Alberta area. I have been serving ACSI in this capacity for about a year and a half now. I have been consistently inspired by your heart, passion, and desire to grow in your faith and be able to improve in your teaching practices. My heart has been able to go into the schools and make connections in ways that maybe you've never seen them to the Bible, whether it's in a science, a social studies class, or a math class. And the best thing we can do is use the best textbook we have, which is the Bible, and show how those things are connected. What's really neat is this time of year, we often are looking at our nativity scene. And my favorite was always the little Magi because they were sparkly. And I loved seeing them sitting there right beside there and think, what was their role? And as I've gotten older and I've been able to actually learn what some of the words mean, I've had a deeper understanding of who the Magi actually were. Now in Hebrew, and if you spent any time listening to any of my teachings, you know I love to go back to Hebrew and see what the words actually meant. In Hebrew, the word for Magi is Mag, and it actually refers to the priests in the Medes, the Persians, and the Babylonian Empire. And you may think, what does that have to do with the Christmas story? But it actually takes us all the way back to Daniel. Remember Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Well, when they were in Babylonian captivity, they got pretty high up in the government, and they actually made a fair amount of money, specifically Daniel. He was an advisor to the king, but he was a eunuch, and he had no children to pass on his amazing inheritance and all the wealth he had accumulated. And in addition to that, God had given him amazing foresight and was able to go and see what the future was going to look like and what signs would be in the heavens to be looking for when the Messiah finally arrived here on earth. So those Magi, those priests from that very same region where Daniel was, they were looking in that sky, holding on to the wealth that Daniel had. Now, what's interesting is when we get to the New Testament and it says the Magi brought gifts, but the word actually for gift is korban. And it actually meant one gift, but we're thinking, wait, there were three items, but really one gift. See, all three of those items were items that were used in the temple and the tabernacle during the prayer service. They were used on the altar of incense. The gift was worship. They were bringing items to help make them connected to their receiver and the giver. They were the giver and the receiver was God. They wanted to get closer to this Messiah that they had been waiting for hundreds of years. They brought the items necessary that they thought they needed to be able to worship the one true living God. And that really is the best gift that we can give God. That's all he wants is our heart and our undevoted worship. So as you go about your school days and for the rest of the school year, I pray that you will teach your students how to worship, not just with songs, and songs are fun, with actions, but the truth that's coming from their hearts as they are learning about the one true God in science, social studies, math, language arts, PE, music, that God's attributes are reflected everywhere so that they too will learn how to worship and give that perfect gift to God. If you would like assistance in being able to teach your students how to accomplish this amazing task of worshiping God, please feel free to contact me at any time. I'd love to support you and give you ideas, tidbits, or suggestions. I pray you have a wonderful holiday season and that as you have a well-deserved break, I know you've all worked very hard up to this point, you will have an amazing time with your friends and your family. And take a little look at your nativity scene and look at those three little shiny characters on the end of that beautiful montage and think a little bit about the gift that they actually brought to their Heavenly Father. Blessings upon you, and I will be praying for you. Bye for now.